What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be talking about what is coming tomorrow in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. And yeah, we are going to be talking about the triple threat spotlight sims, which is an absolute crazy concept. No one would have predicted it, but it's great that we see it. So obviously you guys can see right here, the invincible Bill Russell is one of the cards. But it says here there are 30 opals, 3 dark matters. We know that these are the 3 dark matters right here. James Worthy, Dame Lillard, and Jimmy Butler. But in this video, I'm going to be making a prediction of who I believe the other cards are going to be. So, because obviously we can see right here that there are 30 cards, I have to assume it's one per team. So that's what I've done. I've gone through the teams and I'm going to explain why they're my predictions. And if we get them, will they be good or not? So, this is one player for every franchise. I'm pretty sure I've got 30. If I did forget one, I've probably forgot 5. But anyway, let's get on to our predictions. So, from the Boston Celtics, I'm predicting Jaylen Brown. The reason why I'm predicting Jaylen Brown is I think we do get a dark matter Jaylen Brown, and I don't think we see 2 more Jaylen Browns the rest of the year in packs. So 2K could very easily release a 97 overall free Galaxy Opal Jaylen Brown. It brings people into the game, it's interesting, and then they could release the better dark matter Jaylen Brown. I think he'll probably get he'll probably be like 80% of the dark matter, just like a lot of these cards, like a Tatum is like 80%. I reckon he will still get half showtime, he'll get half range, he'll get half quick first step. He'll probably be in around 40 half badges. We'll have base 75, I believe, on quick, not very quick. And that is my prediction for the Celtics. For the Brooklyn Nets or New Jersey Nets, well, they wear New Jersey Nets when you play for them. I'm going to get Drazen Petrovic. Again, another guy that's not going to be a pack seller. Like these guys, you have to say they're either going to be tactical downgrades or they're guys that aren't pack sellers. Drazen's never a pack seller, but he's always kind of a popular player. I think his release is really nice. Base 35. It's like Thurman, Drazen, Okoro. I actually think it's a really, really nice release. And I think you give him range, you give him clamps. He's a little bit on his size. Not going to be great, but he's going to be able to carry slide and he's going to be fine. He is going to be a perfectly fine card in my team. He's my prediction for the Nets. And again, a kind of iconic player for Europeans. Especially because it seems like the last week they're trying to bring a lot of players into the game. And there are a lot of people from that area in the world that would be very interested in using a Drazen Petrovic. Then we have got Walt Frazier for the Knicks. So we haven't seen a Walt Frazier in a long time. The last Walt Frazier we saw was this card here. And then there was the 86 overall, which was shockingly bad from the very first Spotlight series. Frazier, not a good release, but like he can curry, he can move a little bit. He'll be able to move a little bit. His jumper is not going to be great, but his defense is going to be fantastic. He's going to have almost all the half defensive badges. Good wingspan. I think he's going to be a good card in game. And I would be... There are a few that I'm quite confident of. This will be one of the ones I would be quite confident of showing up for Knicks because we haven't seen many versions of him. And again, the purpose of Spotlight Sims is to bring people into the game. It's very unlikely that you see a bunch of complete no-names. Like relative no-names, like you might see a few of them, especially with their current cards. But if we look at like historic Spotlight Sims last year, a lot of them were kind of iconic players for the franchises. Then for Philadelphia Sims 6, I'm going to go with the kind of relative no-name Matisse Thybulle. He's popular amongst current fans, and I was looking at a lot of players from the Sixers, and like there were a lot of good players that I could have chose from, but none of them really like stood out as like guys that we kind of needed to be in it. I was looking again through 2KMT Central, and we're not going to see Billy Cunningham. Billy Cunningham would have been my first prediction. Like, we're not going to see an Allen Iverson. We already saw him. We're not going to see a Hal Greer, I don't think. The likes of Tobias Harris, I don't think it's likely. We could see Tobias Harris, but I do think seeing a Thybulle card is probably a bit more likely than Tobias Harris. Then for Raptors, again, this is one of the most widely predicted ones, is Pascal Siakam. Again, he is a guy that he won't be a pack seller, but he'll be a card that people will be excited to see in packs. But I do personally think we need to see 2 more Pascal Siakams this year. I think we do see a Pascal Siakam probably in a week or 2 in packs. We might see him in June. We might see him in early July, and kind of like mid-June. We could probably see a Pascal Siakam in packs because that's around the time we saw him in packs last year. and he was a fantastic card. Again, I don't think he's going to get a perfect card that's his opal. I think his opal is going to be very, very comparable to the last year's card. I think he's going to be very comparable to the card we saw last year, the pink diamond. And I think we're going to see a like dark matter card that's even better. But I think Pascal Siakam is another one that a lot of people think we're going to see. Then for the Bulls, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Ben Gordon. Again, this is a guy that was very fun to watch. There's a lot of Bulls fans that have fond memories of this guy. And for that reason, I think they're going to put it in. Again, I just have a weird feeling with him. And he's also actually half decent in the game. He's like a Derrick Rose type player. Then for Cavs, I'm going Bingo Smith. Is he iconic? No. Does he have a cool looking afro? Yeah. Do 2K tend to put him in as a reward card in 2K games? Yeah. Like, we've seen him the last couple of years. We saw him as a reward card last year. Actually, he wasn't a reward card in 19. He was actually a decent Ruby in 19. But again, we've seen 2K mess around with Bingo Smith quite a bit and put him in at stages that we'd be kind of surprised to see a Bingo Smith in game. And this is one of those times I think I would be kind of... I have a weird feeling it's going to be Bingo Smith for the Cavs. And again, I could be wrong with all this if it's 30 random players, but this is assuming it's per team. For the Detroit Pistons, Rip Hamilton, one of their most iconic players. We saw him in Spotlight Sims last year. Did we see him in 2 Spotlight Sims last year? I need to just check that. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think we might have saw him in 2 Spotlight Sims last year. Players, Detroit Pistons, 2 guards. We saw Rip Hamilton in all-time Spotlight Sims and historic Spotlight Sims. Yeah, so we saw him in 2 Spotlight Sims last year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in a Spotlight Sims this year. That's the reason why I'm making the guess. For the Pacers, I'm going Miles Turner. There was a few that I was considering. I was like, maybe we could see a Opal Rick Smits or something just because if they want to put a giant in. But no, I think Miles Turner is probably a shout, especially because he was in the glitch market and very few people got him. So I think Miles Turner is a good chance for him. For the Kings, I'm going to go with, from the Cincinnati Royals, Oscar Robertson. We haven't seen an Oscar Robertson since January. Like, he was in the freaking AD Opal batch. Really solid card, and I do think he ends up getting hot blinders and is a next-gen beast. Then, Hawks. As much as everyone is going to hate this, I think we're going to get Al Horford. I'm sorry, I think we're going to get Al Horford. It's just a good feeling I have. His release sucks. Set shot 5, it's Noah release. His upper sucks. He's just not going to be able to shoot the ball, but I have a weird feeling. There's always a dud. There's always a dud in Spotlight Sims, and he's going to be the dud this time. We can't forget, every year there are always duds, guys that no one will ever use in Spotlight Sims, and I think Al Horford's going to be the dud. Then we got Glen Rice. So Glen Rice is... I'm going to make a bold prediction. For the Charlotte Hornets, we get Glen Rice. But not only Glen Rice. We get base 98 Glen Rice. Or Wade base Glen Rice. That is my bold prediction, is that we get base 98 Glen Rice. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not, but a man can dream. Then for the Miami Heat, I'm going Chris Bosh. I'm going Chris Bosh. And yeah, I get it. We already have a 99 overall. If we remember last year, we already had 99 overall Steph. They gave us a lower Steph. We already had 99 overall Rose. They gave us a 98 Rose last year. So I think there are going to be a few that are tactical downgrades. I think Bosh for the Miami Heat is going to be one of them. So we did have a Raptors Miami Heat that's a 99, or a Raptors Chris Bosh is a 99. I think especially with him being in the Hall of Fame, I think we see one more Bosh card, and I think he's going to be grindable because again, he's another player that brings hype into the game. There's a better version of him, but he's a guy that's going to bring in some hype. For the Magic, Aaron Gordon. I mean, there's not too many others I can think of. Grant Hill is a possibility. Like Grant Hill, but he can't play point guard. Like a small forward Grant Hill. That's another one of my shouts, but I do think we tend to see Aaron Gordon quite a bit as a reward, so I'm going to go Aaron Gordon. Wizards, Gilbert Arenas. He's not good in 2K. He's really bad this year. I still think they give him the woeful base 11. We've already got 3 Gilbert Arenas cards that are identical. We're surely seeing a better Gilbert Arenas, and I think we do see a 99 overall Gilbert Arenas with a better release later on in the year, but I don't think this is going to be that card. I think he's going to be a garbage base 11 Gilbert Arenas, but I think that that's, again, another card that will bring in some players. He's going to be a dud, but he's a big name, so you can't really call him one of the duds. Then we have Kiki Vandeweghe. Again, we saw him as, like, both versions of Kiki Vandeweghe are reward cards. If we look at NBA 2K20, like 2K17, he had a diamond reward. If I'm not mistaken, did he have... I need to check this. I need to check if Kiki Vandeweghe, like his cards last year, if he only had... Because there is potential that Kiki Vandeweghe only had rewards cards last year as well. Yeah, Kiki Vandeweghe had a token reward and a Galaxy Opal reward. This year he's a token reward and a triple threat reward. Kiki Vandeweghe, the last 2 years in my team, has owned... Like, I know for a fact in 2K19 he was base 11, so he didn't have a reward card. But the last 2 years he has only had reward cards, and I think that that streak's going to stay. I think he's going to have a reward card. For the Timberwolves, I'm going to say Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, we need a new Karl Anthony Towns some stage. I don't think he's a pack seller. I think his release is very, very iffy. But I do think a slight upgrade to this card right here. It basically, essentially going to be this card right here, except they're going to give him probably half clamps, and they're going to boost his ball handle to probably 83. And a couple of other, like, miscellaneous stats. So he's basically just going to be better ball handling cat. And that's going to get people excited enough. And again, a big name player, not a pack seller. No brainer, I think. This isn't the Celtics, but this is for the Seattle Supersonics / OKC Thunder. Dennis Johnson, he was finals MVP when they won an NBA championship. And I do believe that he is a guy that 2K likes to give out as a reward card. We haven't seen one of him since the start of the year. Then for Portland Trail Blazers, I think Rudy Fernandez, a guy that I was surprised not to see in the fan favorite set. He is unbelievable. He was one of the best cards in the game. And again, you give this guy Curry slide and bump that release to very quick and quick dribble style. We've got one of the better 2 guards in the game. 6'6", long wingspan. He was incredible for his time. And again, you still saw some people run him in the 250k tournament. But Rudy Fernandez, as far as the Blazers go, the card that'll bring the most hype, obviously, there's like Petrie and stuff. We do get a Petrie away them very quick. That'll be very interesting, but I don't know. I just have a feeling we don't see Petrie. For the Jazz, Gordon Hayward, self-explanatory. Like, we haven't seen many Gordon Hayward cards. He's not a pack seller, and he is... I'm not sure how popular he is amongst Jazz fans, but he's still being a decent enough NBA player, so he's some popularity. Warriors, Draymond Green. Obviously a popular player. Again, he's another one that's a non-pack seller because he's 6'7". I think the only way we're going to see a Draymond Green sell at all, and I think it's going to be the same as we saw last year, we might see an Opal point guard Draymond Green. But I think, or say a dark matter point guard Draymond Green. But I do think Draymond Green is probably power forward center. I think he'll get some version, and I think it will be this free one because no one's open packs for that. For the Clippers, I'm gonna say Elton Brand, another dud. Like it's another dud. There's duds. There's always gonna be duds, and I think this is gonna be one of them. There'll be a few. There'll be 3 or 4 duds. Again, I'm probably wrong with a lot of these, but there'll be a couple of duds. Then for the Lakers, there's got to be hyped ones as well, and I think Lamar Odom's going to be the hyped one. The problem is, like, Lamar Odom is a pack seller. He is a pack seller. Don't get me wrong, he's a pack seller. And I think he might not be the best stats-wise. But again, I think they're going to give him the same animations as he has. I think they're going to keep Paul George released on quick. I think they're going to keep the Paul George dribble style on him. I think they're going to probably give him goal or half range, but gold clamps still. I think he's going to be quite similar to this. He'll probably have like 32 halves. I think he'll be one of kind of the weaker ones stats-wise, but obviously he'll be hyped because he's Odom. And I think that Paul George on quick with the Paul George dribble style will definitely mean that he's not much of a next-gen card. But I do think he'll be... And then he can't curry slide on current-gen. So I think that he's going to be one that's going to have a lot of initial hype, but will turn out to be not very good. I have a weird feeling we see Lamar Odom. Then Westphal. I mean, they do tend to give us Westphal as reward cards. Again, last year, Westphal was only a reward card, and he's a Pistol Pete Maravich clone. Like the exact same. Literally the exact same. They give the dude half blinders and half range. He's just another Pistol Pete Maravich. Then we have got Mitch Richmond. So Mitch Richmond, again, he's another one that will have hype. People would be excited to get him. Is not a pack seller, and that's kind of what I'm going towards. Players that people like in real life and will be excited about, but guys that no one would ever say, I'm going to buy a pack for. You're not going to see any real pack sellers in this, unless they're tactical downgrade. We got Rafer Alston. Basically, I was either going to say Rafer Alston or Jared Jeffries, because the 3 of those guys, since NBA 2K18, They have all had, this is what's happened with all those guys. So they get a good card early, a really good budget card early in the game. They don't get a card for the rest of the year. That's both of those cards. LaFrance has never got a second card in my team. Rafer LaFrance has only ever had one card every year. And I just think this should be the year where they give Rafer LaFrance a second card. Just give him a second card, 2K. Houston or Toronto Raptors. No, this is for Houston Rockets. Toronto Raptors was Siakam. For the Houston Rockets, Rafer Alston. Maybe he could be Orlando Magic, but I think again, skip to my Lou. They're gonna give him. I think Iverson has a really good dribble style, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's not quick or shifty, but they're gonna give him some crazy dribble sigs. If they could find a way to make him be able to do park dribble moves in game, it would be a gimmick. It wouldn't make him good, but it'd be funny. And that's what he deserves. Like again, the Allen street baller made a pro. Yeah, he's one that I have a weird feeling he's going to be in there because again, not a pack seller, but a guy that a lot of people, especially guys who grew up on AM1, will be excited to use. Grizzlies, Felipe Lopez. Look, I couldn't think of anyone for the Grizzlies. There's no OJ Mayo anymore. Like, I don't think Big Country's going to be there, so we just guess Lopez. Pelican Zion. So, because I'm not sure what way they're working it with like the Hornets and everything, because obviously the Charlotte Hornets relocated and then there's a whole messy thing. So I think it's going to have to be someone post 2013 Pelican switch. And I just think that again, Zion, I think Zion gets a 97 or 98 overall, or maybe even a dark matter point guard. I think that card comes. But I also think that we're going to see Zion Williamson. We're going to see a 97 overall Zion Williamson. That is basically this Zion Williamson. Essentially the same. Gold range extender. Instead of 40 huffs, he might have 37 huffs. They're going to be the same card, basically. It's just going to be a tactical downgrade for Zion. Because again, a lot of people are going to be excited to use that Zion. And for the Spurs, DeJounte Murray. I mean, Spurs fans love him. He's a 6'5" point guard, and they're going to probably give him decent animations. Jump shot is okay, I guess. And I think he could be a really nice card. So anyway, that is the video. Let me know what you guys would have as your predictions for this set. Again, this is just my predictions. I have absolutely no idea. I am even just guessing. I am completely guessing that 2K are going to pick one per team. That is just a complete guess. I could be completely wrong with that. We'll see tomorrow morning. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.